Hello, welcome to the demonstration of my final project in expressing music through technology. I'm basically going to be walking through what I did for my final project, and of course making sure to note what I overcame to do it and how I did it, whatnot. So I decided that I wanted to do a MIDI project, and I wanted to use this program, Guitar Pro, for the base MIDI file, and then I was going to export it into Mixcraft, and I was going to make a video with Camtasia, but I ran into a few problems doing that, which is going to be something that I'm going to get into a bit later. So first I'll start off with this program. It is a tablature editor, so it's mostly used for people who play guitar that want to see what frets to play and don't necessarily know how to read the music part. But it's unique and helps because the music part lets you add in rhythm and other things like that, like these accents and other things that are specific to the note. You also get the tuning at the top as well, and you can play along with it so that you can practice on tempo. So let me pull up the tracks. Okay. I ended up doing a couple guitar tracks. These are just clean guitars, a bass guitar, 2 distortion guitars, and there's a percussion track as well. The percussion is really weird. I know that there are notes for percussion instruments, so I'm not sure if these are accurate or what they mean. I just had to do it based off of which sound is which, and used copy paste a lot because this part was a bit difficult. For the guitar parts, I messed around a lot on an actual guitar and then tried to emulate the sound in this program, and making the tablature in this program is pretty easy, especially when you have things like, let's see, where is it? There we go. You can bring up the scales and you can put notes in like that on the graphic interface of a guitar here. And to change the notes, you can basically just start adding things in, and you can press the plus or minus key to change from quarter note, 8th note, 16th note, whatever. And then on the note specific things, you can go into effects. You can add vibrato, you can make it a dead note, you can make it like a slap, or you can let it ring, which is something that I used a lot. And yeah, that's basically it. There's not much more to this program. It was very easy and especially intuitive for me. So I also decided to do some MIDI synthesizing in Mixcraft to, like I said in my paper, to kind of broaden my exposure to different types of recording. But after I made this, I exported it to an MP3 so that I could put it in the other software and mess with it. One of the things that I wanted to do was incorporate, actually that's the wrong page, let me see. Alright, here we go. Incorporate one of the little extras that was in the syllabus and in the course content. So I decided to use this thing to get some sound into my song. It's pretty interesting. Kind of fun to mess with. But I'll show some videos of that. I wanted to make it a video so that I could kind of show how where the sound was coming from in a lot of these different places. I actually captured some video of it here. and I loaded the MP3 and the video into Camtasia, and I tried to splice it together, and I got it to sync up, but the problem is sometimes it just wouldn't sync. Like if I played it a little bit before to see if it was lined up, sometimes it would work, sometimes it didn't. So I'm sure that has to do with, the compositing engine or how it, puts it together. Mixcraft does a much better job, although it seems to be built for that sort of thing. So I'm not surprised that, they had a better method of doing it. It almost seems like the Camtasia program just tries to do it on the fly every time and just splice it together, and sometimes it doesn't work exactly on time. And that made me wary because I didn't want to put everything together that way, and perhaps in the final rendering when it puts everything together it would become variable whether or not the things are synced up correctly. So for my peace of mind and to help me with the sampling, I stuck to Mixcraft and decided to abandon the video, which I think was a good idea, seeing as how I'm making a video of it anyway. So this is the track that actually has the Guitar Pro MP3. This track is muted because there was a little error in it. I guess it's a good thing that I kept it in and muted so that I could bring it up for this video, but there was a note in here and I didn't notice that I put an effect on it. I must have pressed a button or something, like a hotkey. It doesn't really matter. It was actually this, I think it's pronounced Regado or something. I don't remember, but it just strummed it 4 times fast and it was a whole note, so it didn't sound right. I tried to correct it, it didn't work, so I just redid it. To go to the... Alright, these tracks are frozen because... Here they are. These are the audio clips of this type of thing, this website. And I had to use this program, Audacity, to record what's going through my sound card, what's going out my sound card, because for some reason I could not arm a recording track here that would pick up my system audio. So it doesn't really matter. This program was actually very efficient for what I needed to do. For example, if I were to do it real quick, you can just record one way through and then find out where it starts. So I think it's right here, maybe? No, it's right. Yeah. And then you can just press the delete button to cut out the extra, so you're just left with the loop. And then I would save that to a wave and then dump it in. So here's the waves that came from the website. I had to turn snap to grid off because, well, I think it's pretty obvious, but they didn't exactly line up on the grid, so that's why they're locked. They're very precariously positioned. It's a bit weird positioning, but that's me trying to sync it up, and somehow I guess you would call it the beats per minute synced, which I'm not surprised, because I'm sure that online program is 120 beats per minute, just like this is. I'm pretty sure it seems to be quite standard. Yes. So I'm going to run through the whole song at the end, and I'm also going to post a link to the SoundCloud where I uploaded it so that you or anyone else can hear it if you like. Going to avoid playing sections and talking about it just for the sake of time. These are the MIDI, I guess you call it excerpts, that I put in. I spent probably too long trying to figure out which sound I wanted. I changed it a couple times, and I did edit the notes in here. I did that much more at a different part, but these like solos that I put in, I guess you'd call the leads, I actually did them with my keyboard, and I don't mean a MIDI controller keyboard, I mean my actual QWERT keyboard. I used, oh, that's not it. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it is. This musical typing. So, that sounds terrible. Yeah, and yep, made it easy. I had to correct myself a couple times, and surprisingly, it didn't take me too long to put tracks over this. I thought I was gonna have some difficulty, but I stuck to a major C scale, so it was pretty easy for these anyway. A bit further down the line, yeah, with the voice, and I did the synth voice. I basically went through on the keyboard and found a couple chords that I liked. I definitely did not freestyle it anywhere near the way that I wanted it, but after I found the chords that I thought sounded right, I just put them where I wanted and sustained them for as long as I wanted to, and I changed the velocity on a lot of them too to try and make it sound better, because this is the, I'd say, a fairly sensitive part of the song in my opinion. Beyond that, I think that's it. So basically what I went through was learning this program, learning how to control MIDI, how to edit this type of MIDI down here, and edit this type. I guess I learned a bit about the notes, although I do know how to read music. I don't really know how to sight read anymore. I used to, but it wasn't really new to me. A lot of the musical notation, the time signatures, and I got volume changes. I think there's some piano, mezzo piano, fortes in here, the repeats, that kind of thing. That was all not new. But playing the MIDI through my actual keyboard was certainly new, and figuring out how to kind of blend these things together, I can't say I did an amazing job, but it's definitely better than what it was like when it first came out. So yep, I thought this was a pretty interesting and fun thing to do. And I guess that's about it. So if you'd like, you can listen to the final product. I'm going to play it straight through Mixcraft right now. And like I said, the link to the SoundCloud will be in the description. Thank you. So, a couple things that I forgot to mention that are worth noting is the effects tracks on some of these tracks. I'm going to unfreeze this for a second. I put a amp, a simulator, and a chorus effect on some of these, and I think I put a delay and the amp simulator on the others. These are the, what do you call it? It was Tone Matrix is the name of it. Samples. I think it helped the sound. It actually blended a bit better without the effects on, but I liked how it stuck out, and it almost sounded a bit, I guess you'd call it non-harmonic. I don't know, I like that, so I kept it that way. I thought it sounded unique, so I liked it. Oops. I think this one, oh yeah, it says a vocal spread. I'm not exactly sure what that did, but it sounded a little bit better with it on, so I kept it. I think this is the one that has the delay on it for the very end. It kind of tapers off a little bit there, so I'll refreeze that. Another thing that I didn't really mention is the sampling engine for Guitar Pro is, well, it's definitely MIDI, but it's a bit different. They have their own sampling engine called the Realistic Sound Engine for modeling guitars. The Percussion sounded like straight up MIDI, but I think the idea is that, you know, they're more high quality samples, they have more complex blending. You can even change certain things. I actually did not change very much about the guitars and the amps, but you can actually simulate different amps. You can mess with the tone knobs and stuff like that, almost exactly like you can on Mixcraft. Obviously simulated. It's interesting. I just used the default settings though for this project. I also think it's kind of funny how some of these notes are impossible to play. This is the only part that's impossible. As you can see, that's a 2-note bend on the 2nd fret of a bass. It's not happening. So since I put this blurb in the end, I'm going to put an annotation in the video and something in the description so that it can be jumped to or whatever. Hopefully it gets your attention. If I were to try and do this video all in one take, I would probably be here until I was 80 years old because, well, I just can't do it. So I hope that you found this interesting. I'm not a musician per se. I'm a computer science major. I don't really do stuff like this at all. So this was very new to me. I learned a lot from it. It's interesting. But yes, not the best with this kind of stuff. I hope this was good enough. So thank you and goodbye.